Hare Krishna devotees, we thank all of you for joining this Bhagavad Gita class. Now we'll this Jai Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maya ki Jai. Prabhu, next screen will share. Yeah. So we'll chant the Mangalacharan prayers. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Sakshura Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Pudale Srimadi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Dinamini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prasarani Nirvashesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Sadar Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare. So today we are reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, Karma Yoga, 14th verse. Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyat anna sambhava yagnat bhavanti parjanyo yagnaha karma samudbhava. All living entities, all living bodies subsist on which are produced from rains. Rains are produced by performance of yajna, sacrifice, and yajna is born of prescribed duties. Okay, Sri Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So today we are going to talk about this third chapter, 14th verse. This talks about yajna. Yajna, actually for human beings, three things Shastra recommends. One human being must do these three things. One is yajna, dana, and tapa. These three things are important for human beings. You would have heard about this three kleshas, isn't it? Kleshas means three types of miseries we get from this material world. The permanent, these four miseries, four problems are always there. Four forms of, these human problems of life, it is always there for all of us. This birth, death, old age, and disease. This is there. In addition to that, we also get three types of kleshas, isn't it? Kleshas means miseries we get. Nobody can, almost everybody has to go through it. One is Adhyatmik klesha, Adi Baudik klesha, and Adi Devik klesha. Adhyatmik klesha means the miseries we get from our body and mind, isn't it? Through our body we get some disease. Then our even if you don't get disease, our mind is always in diseased condition, isn't it? It always wants to enjoy something, get frustrated, and wants more and more. This is always there. So this klesha is always there for us. This is Adhyatmik klesha. Then Adibaudik klesha is a problem from others, isn't it? Other living entities, they are envious of others. They try to create problems to us. Some mosquitoes bites, some other animals bite, dog or cat, isn't it? From other living entities also, we get some problems. Always, we are working in office or even in devotee communities also, sometimes enviousness will be there, some politics will be there, isn't it? So this is another type of klesha. The third type of klesha is Adidevik. Adidevik klesha means natural calamities. Like tsunami may come, corona may come. Some, it's beyond humans' control, isn't it? We have seen in our own life, isn't it? Tsunami, so many people got affected, some cyclone, like that, natural calamity, landslide, like that it will come. So we cannot avoid these things, isn't it? These three types of kleshas. If one wants to get out of these three kleshas, human beings are recommended to follow these three Shastra recommends: yajna, dana, and tapa. Tapa, we know, austerity, isn't it? What are the austerities we are expected to follow? Getting up early, taking bath, then doing Mangalarti, hearing Bhagavad Gita, chanting the holy name. These are all tapasya, isn't it? Who likes it? We may not like it in the initial stage. But tapasya means what? Voluntarily accepting some pain. If we accept that voluntarily this pain, then we get the ultimate pleasure. That is what we get out of this suffering in this material world, isn't it? We will go back to Lord's abode. That is the greatest pleasure we'll get. So this is austerity, that is tapa. So tapa means voluntarily accepting some pain. If you accept little pain, then you will be happy throughout our life, isn't it? That is tapasya we are doing, isn't it? And we are hearing from Bhagavad Gita means that is tapasya. So if you want to get out of this problems from mind and body, that is adhyatmic klesha. If you want to get out, then we should do this tapasya. Daily, whether we like it or not, voluntarily we do this tapasya. Then if you want to get out of adi bhautik klesha, that is problem from others, we are supposed to do charity, dana. Tapa, dana. Dana means charity, isn't it? All of us would have heard. So people who are donating for good causes, they'll be always happy because that heart is filled with pleasure. Oh, I'm helping so many people, isn't it? So if you do charity, then that you will get out of this dana, this adi bhautik klesha. Then if you want to get out of this adi devi klesha, this natural calamities and other things, if you want to get out, they will do this yajna. Yajna is, you would have known that homa and all they will do, isn't it? They will have yajna kutta, they will put so many items, then they will put so many items. So that is yajna. But in this Kali Yuga, we don't get pure items like ghee and other things. And the person qualified to chant the mantra proper purely also is not available. So Shastra recommends in Kali Yuga simply chant the holy name of the Lord. That is considered the best yajna, isn't it? So that is, if you do that, then we can get out of this material cycle of death and birth. We can get out of that. So that yajna is very important. So in this particular verse, we are talking about yajna. When we do yajna, actually for all the activities in this material world, Lord Krishna has delegated to his representatives like demigods, isn't it? Indra, Chandra, Varuna, like that. So many millions of demigods are there. For each of them, he has given certain activity. For example, for rain, Indra; for water, Varuna, like that. Sun for energy, like that. So many demigods are there. Krishna has delegated all his this one to all these demigods. They take care of this material activity, isn't it? So to please these demigods, we are supposed to do yajna. So yajna, that is homa, that is conventionally people do. That is basically karma kandis. Karma kandis means, they want some pious, they want to accumulate some pious things, so that they can go to higher planets, heavenly planets and other things, and they can enjoy very nicely, isn't it? This is what karma kandis do. So that is karma kandis mean fruitive activities. They want some higher pleasure, so they do some sacrifice and other things. But we do this Sankirtan Yajna. Daily we chant the holy name of the Lord, minimum 16 rounds. So when we do that, even all demigods are satisfied. Because they are all gods, Krishna's representative. If you chant the holy name of the Lord, everybody is satisfied. For example, Prabhupada often used to tell, you would have heard, a tree is there, instead of pouring water to the each leaves and twigs, all these things, if you pour water to the root, the tree is nourished, isn't it? So if you, instead of doing so many yajna and other things, simply if you chant the holy name of the Lord, then all demigods, there are millions and billions of demigods are there. Even our bodily, each part also, functions also taken care of by these demigods. For each part, particular demigod is there. And we cannot remember all these demigods, who are they, and we cannot thank them. We cannot show our gratitude to them. But if you worship Lord Krishna, if you chant the holy name of the Lord, if you hear about him, Bhagavad Gita we are hearing, isn't it? Feel that all demigods are satisfied. Everybody is satisfied. Prabhupada also often used to tell another example. Suppose if you want to nourish the body, simply you feed the food to the stomach. In the stomach, it digests and gives energy to all the parts, isn't it? All the parts are like demigods. So if you just feed the food to the stomach, then all parts are nourished. Same way, if you do devotion to Lord Krishna, all other demigods, all are nourished, and everything will get. There is no need to do separate yajna and waste money. See how Lord is so merciful. In Kali Yuga, we all will be, people will be very lazy. They cannot do all these things. So simple process is, but we can just chant the holy name of the Lord anytime, anywhere. There is no restriction. Only after taking bath you should chant. Of course, if you take bath and do, that's wonderful. If you take bath, apply tilak on the body, and if you do that, that is wonderful. Even if somebody cannot do also, doesn't matter. Simply chant the holy name of the Lord. So this chanting the holy name, we would have heard many times, we may not have taste. But how we can develop taste is by hearing about Lord, how great Lord is, how the sambandha, how it is related to us, how Lord is related to us, what are the things Lord is doing for us. If you know that, then we can chant the holy name of the Lord. That's why hearing is very important. We have to hear more about the Lord, then we will get taste for hearing, isn't it? When we chant the holy name of the Lord, we are supposed to chant and hear the mantra. Many times we may not be able to hear the mantra because we don't know much about Lord. So the more we hear, the more we test. The more we get the taste for hearing holy name of the Lord. So in this particular verse, Prabhupada talks about that Lord Krishna is the Yajna Purusha. Wherever Yajna is conducted, he is the Purusha, means ultimate enjoyer. He is the enjoyer. So when we do that, Lord is pleased. And the demigods are Lord's bodily limbs. So they are all Lord's bodily limbs. So when we do devotion to the Lord, they are all happy. So this Yajna, Dana and Tapa, we should remember. So if we want to get out of these three kleshas, we should do these three things. And food. So here in this particular verse, this ocean you would have seen, isn't it? Ocean is a salty water. Why salt Lord has put is, if you just keep the pure water in some vessel for a long time, it gets spoiled. So Lord has put salt. If salt is there, then the water doesn't get spoiled. So when salty water is there in the ocean, when sunlight comes, it evaporates some part of the water, and pure water it evaporates, it is stored in the cloud. And when the rain comes, then the pure water is poured on the land. Then this water is stored in the soil, and through wells or bore wells, then we can collect that water and use it for irrigation, for our drinking and all this purpose. So through water only we get all food grains, isn't it? Through sunlight and water, by this cultivation we get food grains. Because of food grains only we are sustained, isn't it? Our bodies can be nourished only by eating food grains. So everything is given by the Lord. Even our body belongs to Lord. That is very remember. We should always remember. This body Lord has given to us a gift. Okay, you wanted to enjoy separately from you, separately from me. So you use this body. So each body is different, isn't it? Some body is very beautiful, some body is not so beautiful, isn't it? All bodies are different size. So based on our karma, Lord has given this body. So we should remember always body God has given. If we use it in His service, then we'll be happy. If we use it only for our enjoyment, we'll get frustrated, isn't it? Frustration is always there in our life. If you want to get out of frustration, only when you give up this desire to enjoy, then we will get happiness. Actually, people out of ignorance, they think if you enjoy, then you will be happy like that, isn't it? If you enjoy, you will get the frustration will increase, because the origin is frustration. Because we were frustrated with the Lord. We didn't want to serve the Lord. We want to enjoy separately. Because of that frustration only, we have come here, isn't it? So here, whatever activity we do, that will increase our frustration. You take any enjoyment, eating, sleeping, enjoying any enjoyment, anything you take, the more you do, the more frustration will increase. Then only when you hear about, when we take association of devotees, when we read Shastra, you'll come to know that all this activity only will increase my miseries. Then we try to give up our desires, and we try to engage in Lord service, hearing about Him, chanting His holy name, then taking only prasadam. When we do all this activity, then our frustrations comes down. Then we can get the desire to go back to Lord support. So that is very important. At least people you are old enough, they should try to give up all these desires, this desire to enjoy. Then they will be, the frustration will go away. Then they can be happy. Thank you very much, all devotees. We'll meet in the next class. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu. Dandavat pranam. Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Jyothiswar Prabhu. Thank you. Dhanwad
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna. Dhanavad Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you, devotees. Thank you, devotees, for joining. We'll join tomorrow again for the chanting and the class. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.